Hello, I'm Avery or Hazel or Kylie. You can just pick one, I don't care.
Hello, I am Lily.
And no cat anywhere ever gave anyone a straight answer.
These, this podcast only has 100% facts guaranteed or your money back.
Oh my god. It's not like they're paying to begin with, but anyways, today we are covering The Last Unicorn. Unicorn. There we go. You will find a link below to Just Watch, where you will see all the places you can rent, purchase, or stream this movie. The links are centered around the US. However, if you use the Just Watch app, it will automatically redirect you to your country. And if you use the website, you will be able to manually change it to your country from the website page. This is also our free movie of the month for September 2022. It is currently free on a fuck ton of different platforms: YouTube, Peacock, Tubi, Prime Freevee.
Yet I'm not that surprised it's free.
Where did you watch it?
Amazon Prime Video.
I watched it on Peacock.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Mostly because I didn't know it was free on YouTube. But Peacock generally doesn't give me very many problems. Whereas I've had problems with Amazon quite a lot. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't get any.
You can also find a link in the description to Anchor.fm, which will have links to listen to our podcast on all other platforms that we are on, and it will also have links to our socials, namely Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. Our Instagram is growing day by day.
Yeah.
We currently have 9 followers.
Yeah. But anyway, with all that being said, well, actually, let's not get into this yet. You can join us tomorrow for Thor: The Dark World. You can join us next week for Soul and Star vs. the Forces of Evil Season 2. And with all that...
Is that all about everything's out of the way?
Yeah, pretty much. With all that being said, this episode will contain spoilers for The Last Unicorn. And yeah, so if you don't want spoilers, please go away now, because spoilers will be starting in 3, 2, 1. They gave a tree boobs.
Yeah, this is your cheap replacement for drugs.
I mean, this is one of those movies where I feel like, Just Watch has really weird categories. And they have a category called These Aren't Movies, They're Experiences. This movie fits that category.
They weren't wrong.
Yeah.
No, if you want to experience reading, what was it? Just Watch category names.
Yes. Like, oh my god. There was like romantic movies that don't suck.
I remember I gave you a good one. Movies that you initially thought were okay, but it hit you so damn hard when they ended.
Yeah. Actually, that is the one you gave me. It's so weird. Like, they have the most absurd categories.
I mean, whoever's making these categories are having a fun time.
Yeah, clearly. But maybe, like, they're making these categories while watching this movie. Because, I don't know, this movie... This movie is just so weird. Like, I don't know if I'd say it's bad. It's just, like, I couldn't tell where this story was going the entire time. I couldn't tell what they were doing. I couldn't
Oh,
even figure out what the rules were.
hell nah. This movie is truly Good Burger on the next fucking level.
And speaking of Good Burger, check out our episode of Good Burger. It was our free movie of the month for January.
Damn. So now I think about it, we're gonna have to start saying years now.
I've been saying years.
No, I mean like when we were talking about, he just said January.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
But
the only January we've had so far.
But soon it's not gonna be, and that's gonna be weird.
Yeah, but not right now. So this movie came out in like the 80s, and Jeff Bridges
It
is in.
shows.
Yeah, it shows. For one, like, okay, I will say in terms of like environments, the animation is really beautiful, but the characters, they do kind of look weird.
Yeah. The characters definitely do have a 80s look to them.
Yeah, and the music definitely has an 80s feel to it as well.
Not to say it's bad. I actually kind of liked some of the music at some parts.
Well, the 80s had good music, so.
And it's true.
But yeah, I think, okay, so I started to say this before, but Jeff Bridges is in this movie, and we have seen him before. He was in Iron Man as Obadiah Stane.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who are they playing now?
The Prince.
Huh. Okay. Oh, this movie is something, man.
Yeah, so how do I don't even know what to think. Okay, so apparently you don't run away from something immortal because that draws their attention. All right, that seems to be the only rule that we are ever given an explanation to.
Yeah, we've only seen two immortal things: unicorns and
Fucking
what was
harpies.
the other one? Yeah, harpies.
Which we only see one of, and like it eats a witch pretty much, and yeah, that's it. Another thing too, like this whole movie, they kept referring to like this one creature as the Red Bull, and I just couldn't stop thinking of the energy drink. I don't know if you had the same thing.
Of course, I had the same thing. Actually, okay, I need to look this up.
What do you need to look up?
Oh my god. This came out before Red Bull did.
That's what I would be expecting.
I kind of thought that too, but I need to know. I need to know.
But yeah, regarding this movie, it's like, so the Red Bull was chasing all of these unicorns away, and apparently was chasing them all into the sea, and they somehow survived. Whatever, I guess, they're immortal. But then, like, I think they said they could be killed. So it's like, why don't they drown?
I mean, I guess there's something different from being immortal and drowning. Sorry, being killed and drowning. I don't know. Maybe because ocean is nature, unicorns are nature. They breathe underwater.
And like the whole thing too is like they're being forced into the ocean because this king dude likes watching them in the water because it makes him happy, and he decided he had to have every unicorn ever. Why?
So, what the hell is the Red Bull? Like, how is it made?
We get no explanation.
This movie, you'll be hearing that a lot, actually. The movie presents things without any explanation, expecting you to already know it.
Or just expecting you to just completely accept it. Like, okay, so we also have this like wizard character whose name I can't even fucking remember, and he's like really powerful, but he has absolutely no control. So like,
And has no idea what he's doing half the time.
yeah, exactly. So like, he ends up getting tied to a tree, and he tries to use magic to escape from the tree, and he ends up making the tree like a sentient creature with giant boobs that like are on either side of his fucking face. It's like incredibly lewd and like apparently in love with him. So what the hell?
I think I've seen a meme like this once.
I think I've seen a lot of memes like this on like r/pointlessly gendered. Like, what is with the obsession to put boobs on things? To ugh. Th- that that scene took me out of the movie, and I was just like, what the fuck am I watching?
No, I think what really took me out of the movie was like, I thought I had this movie almost pegged, you know, just smooth sailing. Then the fucking unicorn turned into human.
See, that one I kind of was like, I have a feeling, I had a feeling that if he used his magic to transform her, which was like being teased quite a bit throughout the movie, I had a feeling she would become a human. So I wasn't that surprised. But then they start doing this thing where like she starts losing her memories as a unicorn and becoming more and more human and having human emotions that apparently don't exist in unicorns. And then there's like this romance with the prince that's really fucking weird. And then like we're starting to get closer to the end of the movie, and I start thinking maybe she'll stay human, but then that doesn't happen. And it's like, what the fuck? And then it like ends with no real resolution. Like she goes back home, but we don't see her reunite with like the unicorns at all. So
We just know that the unicorns are out of the sea, Red Bull gone.
yeah, and King dead. Um, King Dude is dead. It it's just like what the hell. And like there was that talking skeleton too that I was like, yeah, this might as well be happening now. Walking through this clock that supposedly is like letting you walk through time, but it doesn't seem like they're time traveling. So I don't even know what the fuck that means. Um,
Oh, and then the clock gets destroyed, and obviously now they have no exit. They can only go forward.
yeah, and it's like I don't understand this movie. I don't get it. Like, what were they going for? This is kind of a nonsensical plot. And it feels like this is just one of those movies where like they made it just to kind of show off their environmental like animation skills or something. Either that or it's like a movie created just so parents can turn something on for their kids to have them shut up for a few hours.
I don't know what the answer to this question is. I feel like for once Just Watch is right, this movie is a fucking experience.
Well, no, like I wasn't saying that this movie was in that category. I was saying that
It's
like
not. It should be.
I was saying that like it fits that category
Oh,
perfectly.
it fucking fits this category perfectly.
Like this is a full trip and a half. Like I don't know.
I think
I
I'm
can't.
joking. This is truly cheaper than drugs, and you get the same effect.
Yeah, like I literally finished this movie and I messaged Lily on Discord. Let me see the exact words I said. Okay, I genuinely don't know what the fuck I just watched. And that
I this movie. That's all I have to say on that sentence. Just this movie. Oh my god.
I like that it like cut down on credits time by like having things like having the credits just overlap with the end of the movie. It wasn't like
Yeah,
it went into just credits, but there also weren't that many credits. It kind of gives me the vibe that this is an indie film because it's nothing like any other movie I've ever seen. I think the best thing I can compare it to is like Alice in Wonderland.
I yeah. I cannot compare this to anything reasonable.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's Alice in Wonderland, but not as good, not as timeless.
It's a movie though.
Yeah, it certainly is a movie. It's a and certainly an experience that you know I wouldn't recommend against having. I probably won't watch this movie again, but hey, it was something.
I
I didn't hate
okay,
it.
I probably would watch this again with friends saying like, look, I'm telling you, this movie is an experience.
Yeah, I probably won't watch it again, but like I'm not saying that like I hated it or anything. It was just I don't know, kind of wild. Um, I found the music pretty entertaining, and the score was fantastic as well.
I genuinely need to know what was going through the minds of the people who made the movie. What was the point?
Yeah, like I don't know. It feels like we're kicking like this point over and over and over again, but it's really mostly what you're left with this movie is just
I have so many questions without answers. The fucking unicorn won't give us answers.
and then like okay, so the whole thing with the wizard too, it's like it does have that whole cliche of like, oh, you can do it, you just gotta believe in yourself. Like pretty much. That's the entire character arc for this wizard. And they didn't really need to do that. It could have just been, oh, funny guy is really powerful but can't really control his magic.
I actually did like at one point in the movie where it's like, you deserve a powerful wizard, but what you get is a second rate pickpocket.
Lockpicker, I think.
Oh, not, I don't think so. His like in his hand was an entire key ring full of keys.
I mean, regardless, it was just his repeated attempts to like set her free from that cage were they were something.
Like I understand what the character was going for, but he fucking had the keys on him the entire time.
Yeah, like I was just about to say that too. Like if you had the keys the entire time, why even bother attempting with the spells? I mm. Characters make the weirdest decisions too in this movie, and it's like we get to this like king's castle or whatever, and the wizard dude is just like, yeah, like you have a really powerful wizard, but he doesn't make you happy. And the king's like, you know what? You're right. Hey, other wizard guy, you're fired. What?
Obviously, the wizard in our party is obviously saying that to, get in, join the group and whatnot. But that king was off something. Like, yeah, let me just fire this powerful wizard. Didn't make me happy.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this king dude is really weird, and he also seems to have like no guards either. Um,
Also, there's a part of this movie we haven't talked about a lot. The witch.
So you have this witch who kind of reminds me of Grunkle Stan in that like all of her attractions are fake. Just like, Grunkle Stan's attractions in the Mystery Shack in Gravity Falls. Check out our Gravity Falls episodes, by the way.
Oh my god. What, 2 plugs in one episode?
I mean, we've done more than that in previous episodes before, so.
It's true. So, I mean, Grunkle Stan had fake, attractions, but, I mean, it was really everyone else viewing it was the fool in that scenario because it was clearly fake. Though the witch, fucking magic, so all of the, everyone saw the actual creatures. Had to use magic on the real unicorn to make everyone see a unicorn.
That was just. The whole thing, too, like saying men can't see unicorns. And I was just like, okay, all right. And then, like, we later get to this one character. I forget her name. I think it was like Molly. And like when she meets, didn't they give the unicorn a name like Alanthea or something?
Oh yeah, that was only like in the human form, yeah.
Yeah, but like let's just call her that for the rest of the podcast. Alanthea, whatever. But like she meets Alanthea, and it's like she's just like, "How dare you show up?" And I'm just like, the whole reason she was mad was because she grew up believing in unicorns and wishing she could see one, and then like it's her adult life and she's still never even seen one, and now she sees one. Like that's the whole reason she needs.
Yeah. That's. She's just all like, how dare you not show up in my childhood? All the childhood kids are supposed to see unicorns, and now I didn't. I got left out.
When in reality, that's not even what she was saying. She was just like, I don't know. Like, also, fucking hell, lady, get a goddamn comb. Like, I was actually thinking throughout the entire movie that her hair was an absolute mess. The worst I had ever seen. Like, it reminds me of what happens to my hair when I'm out in the wind and I'm not, like, I don't have it up in a ponytail or something.
I mean, we are driving one central point home, and I mean, what can we say? It's true. This movie is a ride.
Another thing too with this movie is it kind of made me want to cover Disney's Robin Hood.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that at some point.
Also, everyone knows Robin Hood is completely a myth and never happened.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Robin Hood, complete myth, doesn't exist in this world at
I'll
least.
bet in unicorns. Real.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's something else that we've. So if a unicorn is protecting a forest or whatever, apparently it's always spring.
Yeah, and hunters can't find anything to hunt. Apparently.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, even though it's spring.
Oh, and then the hunter said, like, unicorn continue protecting it because you're the last of your kind. Unicorn heard this and like, last of my kind. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. Bye.
Yeah, and she was also sitting there saying, like, last of my kind, this is bullshit. I don't believe that. Just because you haven't seen a unicorn doesn't mean they aren't out there. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's this whole thing just seems kind of weird. And like, uh, I don't know. Like this movie is one of those movies where it's like I walk away with it not even knowing how I feel about it. Like, I don't like this movie. I don't dislike this movie. I feel like, when I go to mark it on Just Watch, I'm literally just going to click scene.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, because it's,
However, there's certain parts of this movie I really do like, and certain parts I really feel like are really weird.
yeah, the romance between Elanthea and the prince is a really weird one when you consider the fact that she's a unicorn.
Super weird.
Yeah, and then like she gets changed back into a unicorn despite expressing multiple times that she doesn't want to be changed back. So that's a whole thing. And like she was also changed into a human without her consent either. So that this whole thing is weird.
If there's one thing I can say about this movie is I cannot understand. I can't pinpoint an emotion to feel about this movie.
Yeah. Like other than just sheer and utter confusion. I think that's the only expression I think that this movie like leaves me with. It's just sheer and utter confusion. I am so baffled. I don't know what was on like the people who made this movie. I don't know what was on their minds. I don't know what they were trying to say. I don't get it. And
I would kill to know what their vision was for this movie.
I feel like, maybe we could probably do some research and maybe figure something out. Because, like, all I knew about this movie going in was animated musical unicorns.
Look, okay, so we had two options between that we can do for this episode. Avery laid them out to me. One was a boring romantic, uh, well, it seemed like a boring romantic movie, and the other one had unicorns. So it's either a unicornless movie or a unicorn movie.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of wish we had done the other movie, which, by the way, was Flipped, a book to movie adaptation, um, which I personally did not find boring because there was also quite a bit of family drama that even if you don't like romance, the family drama itself is pretty interesting. Um,
Look, I looked at the two options. They say never judge a book by their cover. I don't give a shit. I chose someone with unicorns. Can you blame me?
yes, uh, because because of that, we had to watch this really really weird movie. But like, I'm glad we did because I think this is what originally I wanted the free movie of the month thing to be about, covering movies that we wouldn't ordinarily cover. And it's kind of turned into like pretty much just covering anything. That
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time we're covering something that's relatively popular or that I've like at least heard of before. I think this is one of the few times, it may even be the only time, where we've covered something that like I didn't really know anything about.
Yeah, we knew nothing about this movie going forward, and I feel like it shows.
But yeah, I guess I can just start talking about how the critics viewed this movie.
I don't even how 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 does the critics view this mesh of a movie?
where the hell is my screenshots folder? Here it is. Okay, so IMDb gives this movie a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it
Okay,
a 73%. Metacritic has it at 70%, and 90% of Google users liked this movie. 90%?
I
It's
it's a I can't call this a good movie. I want to call it a good movie, but there's something in me that's like, but is it though?
Is it good? Probably not. Is it bad? I don't really think so either. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like this is a movie that exists.
You know, all like the memes about Morbius, like this is Morbius is the a movie of all time. This describes this movie. This is a movie of all time.
Yeah, but the thing with Morbius is like I feel like I hear tons and tons of people saying that that movie was bad. Granted, I still
Yeah,
haven't seen it yet, and we are eventually going to cover that movie on the podcast.
I'm just saying, like, when I hear about the memes,
Yeah,
that's what describes this movie.
thank God the Morbius memes are like dead now.
Oh, yeah, now we have the Minion memes.
Ugh. The Minion memes never went away. They've always been here.
Okay. Honestly, I feel like a movie of this proportion needs an accurate rating. So, against all better judgment, 6.9.
Yeah, I decided to go with 5.0 here. Just because like I wanted to put it like somewhere in the middle because I couldn't decide what I thought of about this like what I thought about this movie. It's just none of it made sense to me. But yeah,
I honest you, the viewers, I challenge you to go watch this movie if you haven't.
yeah,
Tell us
like
what you think. Tell us if you understood it, first of all.
yeah, like I said, this movie is free on like a bunch of different platforms right now, at least in the US. It's free on YouTube, Peacock, Tubi, Prime Video, just a bunch of things. You can check Just Watch for it. Um, but yeah,
And I think with that, we're gonna go find out who the hell made this movie.
I don't know, but like anyway, you can join us tomorrow for Thor: The Dark World. Join us next week for Soul and Star versus the Forces of Evil season 2. And yeah, until next time, I've been Avery. That's been Lily. We'll be seeing you.
Don't talk to unicorns.